It always starts the same way. You're walking through your own home, the same home you've lived in for years. You're not rushing, not being careless, just heading to the kitchen to pour a glass of water. And then suddenly, your foot catches something. Maybe it's the edge of a rug. Maybe the floor is a little slick. Maybe you just didn't see that corner clearly. Your heart leaps into your throat. You catch yourself, thank goodness this time. But it stays with you, that moment of what if. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. After 70, even small slips can lead to major setbacks. I'm not saying that to scare you, but to remind you how much power you have to change the outcome. Because here's the truth. Most falls don't happen out in the wild. They happen right at home, in places we trust the most. And the good news? They're often preventable with just a few smart, affordable fixes. Today, we're going to uncover 4 sneaky fall hazards hiding in plain sight, right in your living room, bathroom, or hallway. Things most of us never think twice about, but could make all the difference in staying upright and independent. I'll walk you through exactly what to look for, what to change, and how to do it without turning your house upside down. So if you've ever had a close call, or know someone who has, stick around. These tips might just protect your health, your confidence, and your freedom. And if this kind of guidance speaks to you, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe to Vibrant Elders, and share your thoughts in the comments. I love hearing your stories and ideas. Alright, let's start with the first little danger spot. It might be sitting right under your feet. Number 1. Loose rugs and slippery floors. When you think about all the things that could cause a fall, your first thought probably isn't that cozy rug in the hallway. After all, it's been there for years. It matches the furniture, adds a little softness to your step, and maybe even holds sentimental value. But here's the thing. Those very rugs can be one of the biggest hidden dangers in your home. I remember my neighbor, Doris, telling me how she tripped over the corner of her entryway rug while heading out to get the mail. She didn't fall all the way down, thank heavens, but she twisted her knee badly enough that she was using a cane for the next few weeks. And it wasn't just that the rug moved. It was that her balance and reflexes weren't what they used to be, and that little slip happened faster than she could recover from it. It turns out, according to the CDC, over 60% of falls in older adults happen right inside the home, and floor surfaces, like throw rugs, loose mats, or wet tile, are a major contributor. It's not just about clumsiness. As we age, our gait changes, our feet shuffle more than they lift, and we rely more heavily on visual cues. So if that rug's edge curls up, or the floor has a slick patch, it can be enough to knock you off balance. Now, I'm not here to tell you to throw out every rug in your house, but I will tell you this. Every rug should be either secured to the floor or removed entirely from areas where you walk often. That includes the hallway, the kitchen, the spot in front of the bathroom sink, and anywhere near stairs. And no, simply putting a rubber pad under it isn't always enough. Some pads slide just as easily. You want a non-slip grip, those thicker, grippy rubber pads that don't budge even when you try. You can also use double-sided rug tape, which you can find at any hardware store or even online. One tip I gave my Aunt Marie was to test each rug in her house by trying to slide it with her foot. If it moved even a little, we secured it. If it curled up at the corners, it was either taped down or taken away. She ended up removing the rug near her back door entirely. And you know what she told me later? She didn't miss it one bit. In fact, she felt safer and more relaxed just walking through that space. But rugs aren't the only flooring culprit. Let's talk about tile and hardwood floors. Sure, they look nice, and they're easy to clean, but they can be slippery, especially if you wear socks around the house. My own dad took a spill in the kitchen while wearing those fuzzy socks he loved. The tile floor, just lightly damp from steam cooking, turned into a skating rink. After that, we switched him to non-slip house shoes with rubber soles and added non-slip mats right in front of the stove and sink, where water tends to collect. Bathrooms are another high-risk zone when it comes to slippery floors, but we'll dig deeper into that later. For now, just consider this. Even walking from your living room to the front door can be risky if your floors don't offer good traction. If you use walkers or canes, it's even more important to have a stable walking surface. The last thing you need is to catch a cane tip on a rug edge. That can send you sideways in a heartbeat. And if you've got pets, well, bless them, but sometimes their favorite napping spots are right in the middle of our paths, on those same throw rugs. You might not see them in time. So what can you do today without spending a fortune or hiring anyone. First, do a floor check around your house. Start from where you get out of bed in the morning and follow your most common paths to the bathroom, the kitchen, the front door. Look at what's underfoot. Are there rugs that shift when you walk on them? Are there glossy floors with no texture? Areas where your socks slide? Take mental notes, or better yet, take pictures and send them to a loved one if you want help. Then, make a plan to either secure or remove anything that could be a hazard. If you want to keep rugs, invest in heavy-duty non-slip backing. Don't just hope it won't move. Know that it won't. If a rug is too lightweight or keeps curling, it's better to let it go. Next, think about your shoes and slippers. Are they giving you traction? If not, consider getting a pair of non-slip indoor shoes designed for seniors. They're comfortable, they support your feet, and most importantly, they grip. And finally, keep your floors dry. After cleaning, use a dry mop to remove any leftover moisture. If you've got grandkids running around, remind them not to spill water and leave it. A small wet patch can be all it takes to send someone to the ER. These changes might feel small, but the peace of mind they bring is huge. You deserve to feel confident walking through your own home, not worried about what's underfoot. And if you're thinking, I've never fallen before, I'm careful, I hear you. But prevention isn't about fear, it's about power. Taking action before something happens is the best kind of strength there is. Because every rug you secure, every floor you make safer, is a step toward protecting your health and independence. Now that we've got your feet on solid ground, let's move on to the next hidden danger, something that often goes unnoticed until it's far too late: the lighting in your home. Number 2, poor lighting, especially at night. Let me ask you something. Have you ever gotten up in the middle of the night, maybe to use the bathroom or grab a glass of water, and found yourself moving slowly through a dark hallway, trying not to bump into anything? Maybe you didn't want to wake your spouse, or you thought, I know this place like the back of my hand. But in that quiet, shadowy moment, you probably felt just a little unsure about where your foot was landing. That slight hesitation, that tiny moment of doubt, is exactly where many nighttime falls begin. I can't count how many times I've heard stories from folks who fell simply because they couldn't see clearly. My friend Henry, who lives just a few blocks away, got up around 3 a.m. to check on his dog. No lights were on, and he didn't want to fumble with switches. One step into the hallway, he misjudged where the wall ended and the hallway turned. Down he went. He broke his wrist trying to catch himself, all because the hallway was too dim. It's easy to overlook how important lighting is. After all, we get used to how our homes look and feel. But something many people don't realize is that our eyes change as we age. It becomes harder to adjust from light to dark. Our pupils don't widen as fast, and our depth perception shrinks. That means even in your familiar home, shadows can become obstacles. And even a quick trip to the bathroom can feel like walking blindfolded. The good news? This is one of the easiest and cheapest fall hazards to fix. You don't need to rewire your house or hire an electrician. You just need to think a little differently about your lighting, especially after sundown. Let's start with night lights. These little gadgets have come a long way. I'm not talking about the old school kind that flickers in the hallway and barely gives off a glow. I'm talking about motion sensor LED night lights. You plug them into the wall, and they only turn on when they sense movement. They're bright enough to safely light your path, but soft enough not to disrupt your sleep. You can find them at Walmart, Home Depot, or online for less than the price of a dinner out. I helped my cousin install these along the baseboards from his bedroom to the bathroom. We also put one right inside the bathroom door and one under the kitchen cabinet. Now, when he gets up at night, his path lights up automatically. No fumbling, no reaching for a switch, no stress. And if you're someone who prefers softer ambience in the evening, stick-on LED strips under furniture or cabinets work beautifully. They give you enough visibility to move without needing overhead lights. Some of them even come with dimmers and timers, so you can set them to your comfort. Now, let's not forget about stairways. Whether it's 2 steps down to a den or a full staircase, dim lighting on stairs is a recipe for disaster. Install lights at both the top and bottom. Better yet, use motion lights on the wall along the stairs. It's a small change with a big payoff. And here's something important to remember. Switches should always be easy to reach. If you have to walk into a dark room to find a switch, that's a red flag. Consider using remote-controlled lights or even smart bulbs you can control with your voice or phone. If technology isn't your thing, Ask your kids or grandkids to help set it up. They'll probably do it in 5 minutes, and you'll feel safer every time you get up after dark. One tip I always share is this: do a night walk. Wait until it's dark, then walk the same path you usually take if you need the bathroom or kitchen. Notice where it gets shadowy. Are there dark corners? Are you relying on memory to guide your steps? That's where you need more light. It's not just about nighttime either. Cloudy days, power outages, and even a broken bulb can all reduce visibility. The more lighting options you have, the safer you are any time of day. Now, you might be thinking, I've always been careful. I don't move around much at night. That may be true, but falls don't give warnings. They happen in seconds. And once a fall happens, recovery is never as fast or easy as we hope. A broken hip, even from a minor fall, can mean months of rehab or worse. So don't wait until there's an accident to take action. And lighting doesn't just prevent falls, it gives peace of mind. You feel more confident walking through your home. You move with more ease. You know your surroundings are working with you, not against you. I'll tell you what happened with my neighbor Ethel. She was skeptical at first. I don't want my house lit up like a Christmas tree, she joked. But after one near fall in her laundry room, she agreed to try a few lights. We added a couple motion sensor lights near the stairs and the bathroom, and a soft LED strip under her kitchen counter. 2 days later, she told me, I don't know why I waited so long. It's like the house is looking out for me now. That's exactly the feeling we want. Not fear, not shame, just quiet confidence that your home is a safe space, day and night. So, if you haven't already, take a few minutes this evening to walk your nighttime path. See what you see, or don't see. Then take one small step to brighten the way. It might be a light. It might be a motion sensor. But whatever it is, it's a step towards staying safe, steady, and in control of your space. And now, since we've lit the way through the dark, let's talk about another danger that sneaks in quietly: clutter. Yes, the things we love can sometimes be what trips us up. Number 3, clutter and furniture layout. It's funny how the things we live with every day slowly become invisible to us. That chair in the hallway? Been there for years. The box of old photo albums by the bookshelf? You hardly notice it anymore. The coffee table with the sharp corner? You've walked around it so many times you could do it with your eyes closed, or so you think. But clutter and how your furniture is arranged can be one of the biggest hidden threats when it comes to falling. The challenge is, it doesn't look dangerous. In fact, a lot of it is part of what makes a house feel like home. Cozy, full of memories, warm. And that's what makes it so tricky. I remember visiting my Uncle Ray. Now, Ray's house was a collector's dream. Little ceramic animals lined the shelves, family photos in every corner, stacks of magazines next to the recliner. It was charming, but also kind of like a maze. The walkway from his bedroom to the living room zigzagged around end tables, a footstool, and even a coat rack. It looked like nothing out of place, but when you're in your 70s or 80s, with slower reflexes and maybe a cane or walker, that little maze turns into a minefield. One day, he tripped over an extension cord snaking across the floor to power a lamp. Luckily, he caught himself on the couch, but we had a serious talk that afternoon. We spent the weekend clearing walkways, taping down cords, and moving a few pieces of furniture. You'd think he might have resisted, but instead, he smiled and said, "This feels good. I can breathe better." That's the surprising thing about decluttering and rethinking your layout. It doesn't just make your space safer. It often makes it feel lighter, more peaceful. Here's the deal. As we age, our ability to recover from a misstep shrinks. Our balance isn't as quick, our hips and knees don't bend as easily, and turning sharply around furniture can throw us off just enough to cause a fall. Plus, many of us start using walkers or canes, which need clear paths and extra width to maneuver. So start with your most used routes. Walk the path you take every morning from bed to the bathroom, then from your favorite chair to the kitchen. Look around. Is there a chair corner sticking out? A magazine rack too close to your footpath? Electrical cords underfoot? Pet toys on the floor? Sometimes the fix is as simple as shifting a chair 6 inches. Sometimes it means removing a small table that isn't really used anymore. And if you're worried about how it'll look, remember, you can still keep the warm, cozy feeling of your home while making it safer to live in. Safety and style are not enemies. Another thing to consider is the height of your furniture. Low coffee tables and ottomans can be tripping hazards. Furniture with sharp corners, like glass tables or benches, can cause serious injury if you do fall. Replacing those with rounded edges, padded ottomans, or simply removing what you no longer need can go a long way. And then there's the clutter that builds up over time. It's not just old magazines or boxes of keepsakes. It's the things we set down just for now that somehow never move. Mail piles up on chairs. Empty boxes get tucked behind doors, and we don't even notice until they're in the way. But clearing clutter doesn't have to feel like throwing away memories. It can be a chance to rediscover what really matters to you. I helped a friend go through her hallway closet. She found her mother's old quilt, a few letters from her husband she thought were lost, and 3 umbrellas she forgot she owned. We laughed, we cried, we made space. And now, she can get to the bathroom at night without brushing past a crowded coat stand and a wobbly shoe rack. Don't be afraid to ask for help either. Your kids, grandkids, or neighbors might love the chance to do something useful and meaningful with you. Set aside a weekend, put on some music, and take it one room at a time. You don't have to do it all in one day. And here's something simple that helps right away. Label storage bins and keep walking paths at least 36 inches wide. That gives you enough space to walk safely, especially if you use a walker. Use cord covers or cable organizers to tuck electrical cords out of sight and under furniture. And if your vacuum or a cleaning mop keeps getting stuck on something, that's a sign that spot needs a change. I get it. None of us want to feel like we're rearranging our lives because we've gotten old. But that's not what this is about. This is about choosing your safety, your comfort, and your freedom. Every time you reduce a fall risk, you're investing in your independence. And once things are in place, life flows more smoothly. You walk with more ease. You stop bracing yourself every time you turn the corner. You can even have guests over without worrying they'll trip over something too. So if you're sitting there thinking, my house isn't that bad, that may be true. But I challenge you to take a fresh look with safety in mind. You might be surprised what you notice when you walk through your home like a guest would. And you might just discover that making space isn't about having less. It's about having more room to enjoy the life you love. Now that we've cleared the path inside, there's one more spot we need to check, and it might just be the slipperiest place in the whole house. Let's head to the bathroom. Number 4, bathrooms without support. Bathrooms. They're where we start and end our days. A place of routine, comfort, maybe even a little peace. But behind that familiarity hides one of the most dangerous rooms in the entire house, especially after 70. It's the combination of water, smooth tile, and too few things to grab onto that makes it a perfect storm for slips and falls. I'll tell you about Martha, a lovely woman I met at a community center a while back. Always cheerful, always helping someone else. One day, she wasn't at her usual yoga class. Turns out, she had slipped while stepping out of her bathtub. No grab bar, no mat, and nothing nearby to hold on to. Just like that, she fractured her pelvis. It wasn't a high fall. She said she barely felt herself go down, but the recovery took months. It shook her confidence, too. I didn't think it could happen to me, she said quietly. And that's the thing. Most of us don't think about the bathroom as dangerous because we've used it the same way for decades. But when your balance isn't as steady, when it's harder to lift your legs or react quickly, that same routine becomes a real risk. The CDC reports that over 80% of falls in the bathroom happen while bathing, showering, or getting on and off the toilet. Those are the moments we don't always prepare for until it's too late. But here's the truth. You don't need to remodel your bathroom or spend thousands of dollars to make it safer. A few small, thoughtful changes can transform it from a risky zone into a space that supports you, literally and emotionally. Let's start with grab bars. Now, I know what you might be thinking, those clunky metal bars that make it feel like a hospital bathroom. But today, you've got choices. There are sleek designs, color options, even removable suction bars if you rent or don't want to drill into tile. I helped my Aunt Gladys install one of these suction bars in her shower, and it made a world of difference. She doesn't use it every second, but she knows it's there if she needs it. That knowing gives her peace and confidence. Where should these bars go? At minimum, you want one inside or just outside the shower or tub, and one next to the toilet. When you're wet and everything's slippery, that sturdy grip can stop a fall before it starts. Next up, non-slip mats. And I mean real non-slip. Not those fabric bath mats that slide on tile like a sled. Look for ones with a rubber base, or better yet, place a non-slip adhesive sticker set right on the tub floor. You can find these in most pharmacies or online, and they're very affordable. Add one outside the tub too, where you step out with wet feet. That's a danger zone if it's smooth or tiled. Then there's the toilet itself. Getting on and off the toilet can become harder with age, especially if your knees ache or your legs are weaker. Low toilet seats make you bend more, which throws off balance. The fix? A raised toilet seat or a toilet safety frame. Both add height and give you something to hold on to when sitting or standing. You don't need a handyman. They're easy to install, and your body will thank you for it. And if you're someone who loves long, relaxing baths, here's a tip. Never get in or out of the tub without something to hold. A towel rack doesn't count. It's not meant to hold your weight. Keep a small stool nearby to place essentials so you're not leaning over the edge. And always have a dry towel ready for your feet when stepping out. Water on tile is as slick as ice. Lighting matters in the bathroom, too. If you're heading there in the middle of the night, your path should be well lit. A motion sensor night light just outside the bathroom and a soft light inside, something that doesn't blind you but lets you see clearly, can make a big difference. One more tip? Keep the floor clear. No laundry baskets near the toilet, no cords from razors or hair dryers trailing across the sink. These little things can become big problems when your balance is off. And if you're thinking, well, I haven't fallen yet, that's wonderful, and I want to help you keep it that way. Falls don't always give warnings. They don't care if it's your home, your schedule, or your favorite fluffy towel. They just happen in the blink of an eye, but they can often be stopped with preparation. My friend Bill once said something that stuck with me. After installing a few of these changes in his bathroom, he told me, "You know, I didn't just make my home safer, I made it mine again. I stopped being nervous every time I stepped in the shower." That's a kind of freedom too. And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? We're not making these changes because we're afraid. We're making them because we value independence, because we want to live on our own terms, in our own homes, without being held back by fear or injury. These upgrades, simple as they may seem, are acts of love for ourselves and our future. So take a look at your bathroom today. Think about what would make it easier, safer, more comforting. It might be one grab bar, or a better mat, or just moving that laundry bin to a different spot. One step at a time is how we stay steady. Now that we've walked through the riskiest parts of the home and how to fix them, let's bring it all together with a few final thoughts to help you feel empowered, not just informed, about staying safe where it matters most. So, now that we've walked through each of these hidden traps, those sneaky little things around the house that don't look dangerous until they are, I hope you're seeing your space with a fresh set of eyes. Not with fear, but with the quiet strength of someone who's choosing to stay safe, steady, and independent. Because that's what this is really about. It's not about being afraid to move around your home. It's about taking small, meaningful steps today that can protect your freedom tomorrow. Whether it's securing that hallway rug, adding a soft glow of light where you walk at night, clearing a path through your favorite room, or finally putting a grab bar in that bathroom. Each change you make is a powerful act of self-care. And here's something I want you to remember. You don't have to do it all at once. Just pick one thing. Fix one area. Take one smart step. That's more than enough for today. Then come back tomorrow or next weekend and do another. Safety is a journey, not a sprint. I'd love to know, which change are you going to start with? Drop a note in the comments. I really do read them. And if you found this helpful, please give the video a like, subscribe to Vibrant Elders, and maybe share it with someone in your life who could use these tips, too. Thanks for spending this time with me. You deserve to live with confidence and peace in your own home. Stay safe, stay proud, and remember, you've got the wisdom and the power to shape the life you want, one thoughtful step at a time.